Hi everybody, how are we all doing today? My name is Griffin and I'm here to talk to you all about skincare and my opinions on things because I'm a very opinionated person and it is that time of the year again where it is now September, the seasons are changing and it is time for another Empties video, and I really needed to get this one out of the way because my little drawer I use to keep all my empty products I used for this season was starting to get really full. I guess this is just kind of like when I started finishing up a lot of products because my kind of core philosophy is that I try to use products kind of at a 1 or 2 at a time type of thing. I try to limit how many things I keep open. So there's kind of like a big rush of everything starting to kind of empty all at once. So I want to give you some final opinions on some products, and thankfully this shouldn't be too long of a video because a lot of these products are actually products that I have done longer reviews on, and for the most part I stand by those reviews. My opinions haven't drastically changed on all of these products, but if they have, I will let you know. And without any further ado, let's get on with it. So first, let's go with cleansers. I have some oil cleansers I'd like to show you first, where I finished up the Hada Labo Gokujyun Cleansing Oil. I love this. This probably is my favorite cleansing oil I have used right now. If I didn't have a whole list of other oil cleansers that I am trying and using, this would be the one that I would rebuy right now. I don't really have a lot of options out there. I have kind of specific likes in my cleansing oils, and this kind of hits all of them, where it doesn't feel very heavy on my face, and it glides very easily. Some oil cleansers don't glide super easily on my skin, and I don't like that. I want it to feel like I don't need a lot of product to fully cover my face in this oil-based cleanser, and this does a very good job of it. It also has some additives in it like the hyaluronic acid, which as a cleansing step, I don't really care. Like, it probably does something, but all in all, it goes on well, it emulsifies well, and it comes off well without kind of leaving any type of film or residue, and that's what I want in an oil cleanser. So highly recommend this, though if you are somebody who does like to go by the cruelty-free lifestyle, Hada Labo is owned by Roto, which is a Japanese huge corporation, and they are not cruelty-free, unfortunately. If you are somebody who does want to use cruelty-free, I also finished up the Purito from Green Cleansing Oil, which is a fragrance-free and cruelty-free alternative towards the Hada Labo, and frankly I don't like this as much. I think that it isn't as good, and a large reason of that is that the base oil in this one isn't olive oil based. There is still olive oil in the Hada Labo, but that's not the main oil base. They use kind of more scientifically kind of manufactured oils, which, like, not mineral oil, but trying to get the good qualities of an oil for those very beneficial, very easy, and cosmetically elegant properties toward it, where this focuses on just straight up olive oil, which I personally find doesn't glide as well on the skin, and that is really the only reason why I don't like it as much. Because I'm not a makeup wearer, I only wear sunscreen really, it isn't a huge difference. Like, all of them are getting rid of all of the oil and sunscreen from my skin. I am not concerned about that. I just think that this went on worse than the Hada Labo, and if they're both the same amount, and they both cost about the same, with the Hada Labo usually being cheaper, I prefer how that one works on me. But ethics considered, this does win at that point. And I have a few that are cruelty-free that kind of use those newer oil technologies too that I have on deck and I'm curious and hopeful about, so that I can go towards some more cruelty-free options regarding there. But it's not really something that I'm really willing to give up, having a product that I don't like as much. I want something to be as good, if not better, which I frankly did not feel from this. I also cleared up a bunch of these Banila Co. Empties, of these little minis that I did a review on too, where I like oils more than I like balms. I straight up find them to be more convenient, that are more economical because you get more for less money, they come in higher volumes, and I find that they work better. I know that there are a lot of people who disagree with me and find that balms are more convenient. I find it to be the complete opposite. These are the Banilicos. They are not fragrance-free, but they also don't have any polyethylene in them, so you don't have that plastic issue going on. they're fine. I used them when I was visiting my parents because they're very convenient for taking on the go because they're so tiny, but it's not my go-to. And there are other cleansing balms that I'm also interested in that, while the Banila definitely is the easiest to get, and as I mentioned, you can get the pink one in a very large size, which is a great deal in regards to that, they're not my preference. So I'm probably not going to rebuy them, but all in all, they're fine. Like, you can't really complain too much about a cleansing balm being a cleansing balm. And as I mentioned in the review, they're all basically the same. And in regards to water cleansers, I have finished off my La Roche Hydrating Cleanser, which I got a lot of, clicks on my video where I compared this to the CeraVe. People wanted to hear all about it, and I've spoken about this many times. I will continue to buy this probably many times. It's amazing. I love it. It's probably my favorite cleanser I've used. I don't feel like I need to say more about it that hasn't already been said. In the end, I like it. I also have finished up a bunch of toners. Let's get into some of those toner and essence-y steps, where first I have the iUNIK Vitamin Hyaluronic Acid Vitalizing Toner, which I really, really liked this. This was a very pleasant surprise, where iUNIK is a brand that I've been pretty hit or miss with, where I think their formulas are very interesting, but often they put one or two ingredients in it that I'm just like, this didn't need to be in here. This kind of ruins the experience for me. And this product didn't have any of that. This product actually just kind of hit every single check mark I want to see in my toners, where it is a nice, thick, and viscous consistency. It has high amounts of hyaluronic acid and other good humectants. It has a lot of antioxidants in here and plant extracts in regards to there. And it does have a bit of a smell, not from essential oils or artificial fragrance, but just from the plant extracts in here. So if you are very sensitive skinned, stay away from this. This is not for you. But all in all, this was just a very enjoyable toner to put on my skin, and I would do it again. It was good. I also have the Bonajour Green Tea Water Balm Toner, which I also did a video on alongside its sister product in the Green Tea Water Balm Cream, and this might be one of my favorite toners ever. I think it's just a very good formulation that has a lot of stuff that I want to see in it and a lot of extras, where it is heavy on the green tea. You can smell it coming out of the bottle, but it's also got peptides and other great goodies in it, which I did a much better job of explaining in my video review that I did of it. But all in all, it went on like a dream, nice, thick, and hydrating, just the way that I like my toners to be in a large bottle. It's just harder to get than a lot of the other popular toners, so that is really the main downside, but it's slowly becoming more popular. I mean, I hope, because I just love it so much. It's a great formula that doesn't just try to be the hyaluronic acid toner that basically every other thick toner is, but also add some other good stuff in it that has results. And I count this kind of as an essence step, even though it's not a real essence, but I also finished up my Isntree Aloe Soothing Gel in the moisture type, which I also did a full review on, where I love aloe, and I love this product, and it worked very well. I don't like the packaging. I think it's hard to get all of the aloe out of the package once you get towards the bottom, which is just a problem with the type of plastic that they used in regard to this. But overall, the formula is very good, and the results I saw from it were also very good, where it's not just aloe, but also has a bunch of other goodies in it to make it more of an essence, in my opinion, because of that, and because it's not a full moisturizer. Aloe gels are not moisturizers. There's nothing occlusive about it, and there's very little emollient about most of them. These are mostly humectants going on here. I also have the Inkey List Tranexamic Acid Nighttime Treatment, which was interesting. Tranexamic acid is kind of another anti-hyperpigmentation, anti-redness ingredient out there. It doesn't have as much research on it as some of the other ideas out there, but I saw this, I was intrigued, I was curious. The Inkey List had a nice product. It comes in a pump container, and it's kind of on the thicker, creamier side. From what I've been able to read about tranexamic acid so far is that it doesn't really have that many benefits besides just kind of the anti-hyperpigmentation stuff going on, which I kind of want a little more stuff going on in my skincare, and I frankly wasn't in love with the kind of texture of this product. It wasn't bad per se, but it didn't spread in the way that I really wanted my serum to. it just could have been a little bit more elegant in that regards, but this is in no means a bad product, and unfortunately I don't have the most amount of hyperpigmentation to be really testing this out, so it's probably not a rebuy for me, but I don't think this is a bad product. I think if this is an issue that you deal with, and if you tried other options like vitamin C, like niacinamide, like alpha-arbutin, and you realize that those aren't great options for you, this is definitely worth a shot. I don't think this is bad at all, it just maybe wasn't the right fit for me. I've also finished up my Honest Beauty Retinol, which is a really amazing serum. I really liked this. This is a water-based retinol serum that I also did my own video of because for some reason no one's talking about this, but you can get this at Target, at Walgreens, at CVS, at Ulta. You can get this a lot of places, and it has a pretty solid amount of retinol, and it doesn't really have much BS going on. The only real issue is one that I pointed out in my Instagram post, where this packaging is huge for 1 ounce of product. This is way too large for what it needs to be. There are competing products out there like the Verse Retinol Serum that are the same amount of product, but come in a noticeably smaller packaging. It's also a pump. So please, Honest Beauty, rethink your packaging, be a little more sensible towards how much you are using in all these things. But formulation perspective, I love this and I would absolutely rebuy this. I have one mask that I finished, and this is the Inkuless Kaolin Clay Mask. I thought this is actually a really interesting product because normally when I think of a Kaolin mask, I think of something that's very oil controlling and honestly a little bit drying. I appreciate those, especially in the summer when I want to make sure that I am very well regulating my oil control, but this is actually hydrating. This was a very hydrating mask where there's such a high glycerin content in here that frankly, when you put it on your skin, some of it kind of disappears. Like, I feel like the Kaolin concentration here actually isn't that high compared to most masks, to the point where you're getting more hydrating benefits than you are getting kind of the Kaolin benefits from my experience, and it might just be something with this batch. This is the only batch I have tried, but overall, if you are somebody who wants to use a clay mask, but you have dry skin, this is a very good option for you. I think this might be the best clay mask for dry skinned people, which normally I would recommend most dry skinned people stay away from clay masks, but this isn't gonna dry you out. This might actually add hydration to your skin, which is really interesting. My biggest issue with it is that it comes in a 50 milliliter tube and it goes away like that because you tend to use more mask product than you do other products because you want to make sure you get a nice even layer of this where you completely cover up your skin compared to other products where you don't want to have a visible layer of that product on your skin. So you need to use more of this. So this is going to go away pretty quickly, and that is my biggest caveat with it. Other than that, interesting product that I would love to try again. In terms of stuff in the moisturizer step, this is technically in this step. I did not use it for this purpose because I was trying to be creative. But I finished up the iUNIK Propolis sleeping mask, which is a sleeping mask. This is something you're supposed to use kind of as a moisturizer step, or even add to the moisturizer step as an extra layer of moisture going on in your skin. At first, I wanted to try using this as a lip mask because I'm trying to find more economical options for ways to keep my lips hydrated and moisturized at night, which this is not one of those. So I tried using it as a sleeping mask too, and I didn't like it. This is basically just like emollient and occlusive. There's no hydration going on in it whatsoever, which is great for a lot of dry skinned people. But as somebody who's not a dry skinned person, this is not the texture I wanted to put on my face. So I ended up just kind of using this on kind of my spots of eczema and irritation on my skin. It was fine. It wasn't anything to write home about. I won't buy this again, but it's just another, like, as I said, iUNIK's been very hit or miss for me. This was a miss for me, but I know a lot of people love their products and love it for their skin type, but this just wasn't a fit for me and didn't really do anything super special with it. I also finished my Klairs Supple Preparation All Over Lotion, which I mentioned in a video where I was kind of talking about differences between Korean and Western lotions and moisturizers and kind of what that means. And this was okay. It was not bad. It just definitely wasn't my favorite moisturizer I've ever used. It comes in a very good size. It comes in a good 250 milliliter tube, and you can use this on your face and your body. That's why it says all over. I didn't love the smell. This is a fragrance-free product, but it definitely kind of smelled like Play-Doh, if that makes sense. Like, it had a weird kind of doughy smell to it. Did not have a great kind of thing going on, and the just kind of application was a little too runny for me. I like my lotions to have a little bit of body to it, not cream level of body, but a little bit of body, and this didn't really have any body, but also didn't rub in the best. We also have some ingredients that some people might not agree with, like there is grapefruit extract in here, which is not essential oil, but it's still a citrus extract, which some people are sensitive to. I personally am not, but that is something to kind of keep into consideration. And we also do have synthetic wax, which is a petrolatum derivative. This is, again, not an issue for me necessarily, but some people prefer to stay away from those different types of things. That is an inclusive in here, so you get some inclusive properties, which is good. But overall, this is not a rebuy for me because I just didn't love it compared to some of the other options I've been using. And it's kind of unfortunate because this is a cruelty-free option. Klairs is a cruelty-free company, and most of the high-volume moisturizers on the market are not cruelty-free. So I recommend this towards people who want to go for a cruelty-free and still not be getting tiny amounts of product, but it personally was not a match for me, and I will not be rebuying this. And I also finished a new body lotion. I wanted to try out more body lotions that I use on my body because I tend to mostly use CeraVe, but maybe there's something better. This is the Burt's Bee Sensitive Skin with Aloe body lotion going on here. It was okay. It also kind of smelled like Play-Doh. It definitely had that clay smell to it, but that is because there is clay in here. They do use some kaolin in here for some reason. It's low on the ingredients list, so it's not meant to be a mask and it's not meant to be drying. It's just kind of there. I don't know. It definitely is not the worst body lotion I've ever used. I have recently just gotten rid of a body lotion because I hated it so much and I did not want to put it on my skin at all, but I prefer the CeraVe over this. I don't think this is a bad option. It just doesn't really have enough skincare ingredients in here for me to actually say, you know what, yeah, this is a great option. Like, this is very much a traditional type of body lotion where it's focusing on the natural ingredients, waking it up there, instead of more scientifically proven ingredients to help improve your skin health, which I think my body deserves too. I don't think I need to only limit that to my face. So if I can find a good lotion that has that, I have a couple of ideas. I want to use that instead. This just kind of relies on the cornstarch, the sunflower seed oil, the aloe, the oat flour, the jojoba esters, the shea butter. Like, these are very traditional, very, like, not ineffective. They work. They're just a little boring and wasn't my favorite. And now finally onto some sunscreens. I have finished up both of my Verdio sunscreens, so the essence and the gel. I did another video completely dedicated to these two. Same opinions, actually, from the video, where this, I felt, has a lot of competition, was too small to really kind of be definitive in the space, where it's competing with Korean brands that use different filters than this and have more cruelty-free standards and have more reef-safe standards, but interesting and works, a little bit shiny. And the gel, I think, was a complete winner, at least for lighter skin tones like me. It does have some titanium dioxide in it, so it's not amazing for darker skin tones. But I love how it comes in an 80-gram tube. I love that it felt that it got on very well with me, and it also really had the benefit of not irritating my skin after I shave, which is something I do want to make a separate video on eventually, where you need to be considerate about after you shave, some skincare will irritate and burn your skin because you're creating little wounds on it. And this is still a chemical sunscreen, which most of them do irritate my skin after I shave, but this one didn't. And that was amazing. I will likely rebuy this after I'm done trying all of the different sunscreens that I'm trying. There are so many. Oh my god. And I also finished up the Skin Aqua UV Moisture Gel. This was one that I was using as a body sunscreen. It did a great job of it. I compared this to the Posay Sun Cut that I'm still using right now, where I determined I liked that one a little bit better just because it has 20 more grams of product in it. But overall, this was great. I really liked this. I think this is an amazing option for people who want a body sunscreen, and if it came in 20 grams more, it'd be a really tough decision between this and the Posay. But overall, unless the Posay is out of stock, or if this increases its volume, I probably will not buy this solely for that reason. And finally, the last product I'm going to talk about is the Jack Black Lip Balm with SPF in it. And I have actually kind of spoken about this, and this one in particular is the grapefruit and ginger one, and this one I think is my favorite one out of all of them. But that said, I do not think I will be rebuying them. This is because I found a lip balm that I like better and fits my needs a little bit better, but overall, this is actually a really good one, and one of the reasons why I like this flavor the most is because it does not have the chemical sunscreen flavor that the other ones do. I don't know why this one doesn't have that flavor in it, but it does a really good job of avoiding it, and it's very moisturizing, there's a lot of occlusives in it, and it has good sun protection for your lips, which is very hard to find. People do not care enough about that. So this gets a lot of hype in the community, and I think it's very well deserved. It's a little bit on the pricey side, but it's worth it compared to a lot of the other ones that just aren't really as cosmetically elegant, or don't taste good, or don't look good, or don't apply well. Just overall very solid option if you want to start getting to SPF lip balms. I do kind of have another product because I have been using it as a lip product as well for the night. This is lanolin. This is the Medela lanolin cream, and it also has caprylic triglycerides and oat beta-glucan in it, which are just like also skincare ingredients, but this is like 90% plus of lanolin. I was using this as a sleeping mask. It worked okay. I wanted it to be better. And this is actually marketed as a nipple cream, but there's no reason why you can't use this on other parts of your face or your skin or any of that. It is literally just lanolin and caprylic triglycerides and oat beta-glucan. These are things that you put all over your body. And I mean, one of the better lip sleeping masks that I have used, but still not the best. I am still on the look for something that fits all of my needs. This has not done that, but a good option for those of you who actually want to use something a little more affordable, because you get 2 ounces of product in here for pretty cheap. So maybe something to think about. And that is all I have for Empties for this season. I went through these very, very fast. I think that is because I have done videos of most of the ones that I actually think warrant having their own opinions being talked about, and the others just were not for me. But I hope you enjoyed that. I hope to see you all again in December for a winter one that probably will have less than this. This is a lot of product that I've used. It's kind of scary how many things I can use in 3 months, but I guess that is kind of how they're designed to be used, where most of them do expire in 6 months after opening, so you want to use it before then. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. Let me know in the comments section if you want any more opinions on any of these products. As I have mentioned from the title in this video, these are all empties. I have used up all these products, so I have spent a month plus using each of these products on here, so I will be able to talk about these pretty well, I would say. If you don't get a full opinion for product by the time you've emptied it, I think you have a problem. So let me know if you want to hear more about them. I would love to talk about it, but until then, I'll catch you all in the next video. So why don't you leave me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.